Welcome to the girls. We're in the happiest, most beautiful place at all.
Wow.
Right
of
here
all time.
in Hazleton area.
All right, kids. You're very beautiful. Nobody die while I'm here. Because you know how I'm with flowers.
You're talking to the flowers.
Yes.
Well, that's what you have to do.
All the beautiful flowers. You're so pretty.
That's how you get them to grow. Remember I took your little orchid plant?
She did.
I took it home with me, and within 1 week, I showed you it has new leaves coming out.
Good.
Because I watered it and I babied it.
I
and
water mine.
You water what? Once a year. You can't just
No,
water it once.
I think I overwater.
No, you didn't want to overwater that. It was as dry as a bone. So anyhow, you know how I'm clumsy, like accident prone. Yeah. So Gucci always has to sleep at the bottom of the stairs, especially when I'm upstairs, because he has to protect me.
He's the king.
So if I'm upstairs and I want to throw some laundry down, because I don't like to carry a basket so I don't slip down the steps, so now I got in the habit of throwing the laundry down. Well, I just have like 3 little pieces. I had 3 little pieces to throw. So I came down the stairs halfway, and I figured I'll throw them over the banister. So I peek through, on your banister and your walk as you're coming down, it like gets like this. So I came down and I went to throw the things out, and I clipped my chin on the top of the banister. So I had the big black and blue mark here that I hope I covered up with the makeup. And then when that happened, I like the knee-jerk reaction, and I picked my head up and then I banged my head. So by the time Dad, by the time Dad came home, I looked like I had like literally fallen down the steps. But I purposely did that so I wouldn't fall down the steps, hurt myself. We're trying to protect ourselves before your wedding.
I'm getting married. I'm getting married. She said I always say that. I said it on like 2 shows. But anyway,
No,
it is the
every
wedding show.
Every day.
Every day. I'm getting married in 3 weeks now.
I know.
Well, if you're watching the show, it's actually...
Wow, it's only a couple days before.
That's true. It's a week before.
Yeah.
Right.
So we won't be here.
Anyway, so we have Jen on with us.
Yeah.
She's the owner of Smith Floral.
Yeah.
And
we have some neat bright colors on too, courtesy of our Bella Boutique.
Yeah, Fashion by Bella Boutique.
Yeah.
They have nice clothes, but they also have beautiful accessories. Good, I forgot. These earrings are so light that I even forgot I had them on.
Yeah, look at these.
Those
these
are
little
cool.
beads, and they're on leather. And look what it is. It's a cocktail. I wore these just for you.
Are you drunk?
Yeah, and they match my shoes. Look at my shoes.
Now, her shoes aren't from Bella's.
No, but look at those shoes. I mean, aren't they just the cutest thing?
They are cute.
I love them.
I really like them.
So I'm like getting in the party mode.
Nice. And your shirt's from there too, right?
My shirt is, and so is my jacket.
Oh, that's
My
right.
jean jacket. I've worn this before, but I wear it a lot.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
own
really like it.
Yep. So they have all kind of neat stuff.
Okay.
They're getting ready to switch seasons.
All right.
And we have our new girls' mugs because we were out of them for a little while. So those are nice and bright and pinky too, like my top.
I love it.
So we're in the pink today.
Well, if you are getting married or know someone that is getting married, you know that the flowers are important. Yes. And there are some tips and tricks you should know before picking your flowers, because picking the florist is important.
Well, I think that the flowers it's all about the flowers.
Really?
You know, I mean, I know it's all about you. But could you imagine yourself being on a wedding with no flowers?
No. It just brings joy and life to the party.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah.
But you
Everybody
really
likes a nice centerpiece, and the girls carry a nice flower,
I
whether
like
it's a single rose or a whole bouquet. I mean, no matter what it is.
The one thing I don't like, and this is just preference, the one thing I don't like, especially when you see photos that come back, the bride has like a beautiful dress on, and she's standing with, it looks like a tree because there's so many freaking flowers that it's cascading down her legs. Yeah. Like, you want to have flowers, for me anyway.
Yeah, but that might be her dream.
To have all these flowers?
That might be what someone likes.
I'm saying I just don't like that
look.
look.
You're too small for that.
Right. When you're looking, I would look like I'm in a jungle or something holding that thing. Yeah. But I'm saying,
you're
like,
vertically
this
challenged.
God only grows us to the height of perfection. I was only 5'1", so I'm sorry.
He was finished with you immediately.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, for me.
Hey,
for me, I think everybody's perfect the way God made them.
Yeah. Okay.
As you get older, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Who's going to It is what it is.
It is
right?
what it is.
Yeah.
Get smaller flowers though for holding with the photography. That whole
Well,
thing of
it's-
flowers.
Yeah, it's everybody's personal preference, but yeah, there are so many beautiful flowers. I mean, just sitting here.
It could be overwhelming because there are so many decisions you have to make for your wedding. Even if it's a small wedding or a large wedding, it's like pay attention to detail the last couple weeks. And,
You get the right people, like you were
get
so
the right
lucky to have me,
Yeah. I'm
right?
lucky.
Isn't she lucky to have me?
Yeah, everyone's at home going, So you need the right people around you, but you have to make
What's
all
in
these
here, vodka?
decisions.
I hope.
You have to make all these decisions, and it becomes like question after question after question, and you're trying to make the right decisions. But sometimes your head's spinning. And I know you understand if you're out there and getting married. But when we come back, we'll talk to Jen Barnasevitch. She's
Watch
the
her
owner
get hit in the face
of
with
Smith Floral.
these hands.
You don't want another black and blue mark? Come on. I love my mom.
I'm just going to count to 10.
Can you count that high? Do it. We're going to take a break while Mom counts to 10. Go. Start. 1,000.
10.
1,000.
9.
We'll be back. You're
8,
watching the girls here at
7,
SSP
6,
TV.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the girls. As promised, we are with Jen Barnasevitch. She is the owner, operator, commander of all flowers here, creator, designer, decorator, and she is here. We are here at Smith Floral in West Hazleton. And Jen, you were telling us earlier how long Smith Floral has been in business. I mean,
Yes.
my goodness, because we know it as a staple. We've always come to Smith's, but tell everyone how long it's been here.
So Smith Floral has been in business since 1896.
Yeah, and I was telling you, you look great.
You don't age. Ageless.
So I worked here since I was 16, and then
2 years ago, huh?
right? And then 8 years ago, I purchased it off of the Smith family. So
Yes.
yes,
So did you always have love for flowers, or how did you get involved?
I always loved gardening and flowers, and so that's when I got the job when I was in high school, and stayed there through college, and just ended up making it my career. I didn't know that was the career path that was going to. Sometimes you just don't know.
Isn't it amazing? But you chose such a beautiful, cheery job. I mean, to be with the flowers. I'm sure that the business part of it is, your normal stuff, but your employees and everything who are here are very creative. I know I've ordered flowers from you before, and
Yes.
if you're having a special event like Janine's getting married, if anybody didn't know about that, of course, one of the first places we started after making the dates was we came to visit you. And for the brides that are getting married or anyone having a special event, we were so happy because when we came in, we didn't know where to start. And so you just talked us through. So where do you start if you're having any event? What should they come armed with?
I think the best thing is to think about what type of theme and feeling, kind of vibe that you want your wedding to have. So is it going to be formal? Is it going to be more a relaxed celebration? And kind of go from there. And I mean, of course, the internet and Pinterest can overload you, but I think that's the best thing to narrow it down. And then from there, the sense of style for your bouquets everything's going to go from whatever theme that you're thinking of.
Right, so if they have their wedding gown already or whatever event it is, if you have some of those things already in mind, then you could coordinate around that. And they should bring pictures or anything, because I think a lot of people have a hard time describing to you what they're talking
Absolutely.
about. As they're saying cascading, and then so what are you thinking is cascading with versus what they're saying? So are they going into with this big, long thing, or is it just a few cascading? So a lot of those terminologies, I think, are confused.
Yeah, absolutely. And so actually cascades are now coming back in style. They were very popular, I would say. Yes, and even in the 80s, and now that style is coming back. But there is a big difference in the cascade, like you were talking about, Janine. Like, it could be huge, which we've done, and there are brides that they can be a petite little bride, but they wanted
Yeah.
that forest.
Yeah.
But or there's cascades that are more like a teardrop and a little shorter.
That's what I had.
Or a hand, or of course we do lots of hand tides as well. So it's all depending on what kind of style. Greenery is really very, very popular in it. Like the eucalyptus, lots of different types of textures. So it's, you know, you want to do your homework and be looking at different pictures. It really helps us when you come in with some photos, because then it kind of lets us into your mind and seeing, you know, what avenue you're taking.
And that's when the expertise comes in with you, because I know I came in, I had my Pinterest wall and knew the theme, and then you can ask some questions. For me, I didn't want anything that really smelled. That's another thing you have to take in consideration.
The floral aroma.
The aromas, or some flowers bleed, you know, so some people don't want that, and other people, what if you want a certain flower in a certain month, so that can play a role, right, of what kind of flowers
Yes.
you're able to get. You can get anything you want, but the expense will be there.
Yes, a lot of the brides come in and are asking about what they're interested in and if it's in season, you know, because of the cost. And if you're looking at roses, hydrangea, alstroemeria, they're available all year. So that's not an issue. But if you're looking at something, peonies or tulips, lily of the valley, they have specific months that they're available.
And a lot of brides might come in with those requests only because different flowers mean different things. Or maybe their grandparents carried such and such they want to duplicate. So if they're so set on that, maybe they should try and think of what month they're getting married in too, because in December it's hard to get those particular flowers.
Yes, that's correct.
And so in addition to the bouquets and everything, then of course then you'll go over a list with them as to what else they would need for their wedding party, maybe boutonnieres, wrist corsages, all different. What is popular now for the bridesmaids and for other attendants and things? Would you give more wrist corsages? Are they more popular? Like with proms and things, what are girls doing?
So for prom, we still do, the bulk is wrist corsages,
Really?
but we've definitely seen an increase in the hand tides.
Isn't it like anything goes? I feel because of Pinterest and Instagram and Snapchat and all the things that now we have access to, that there is that, you know, anything goes attitude where people are getting whatever the heck they want, right?
Oh, absolutely. You're not just looking through a bridal magazine and flipping through pages of that. There's so much all coming at you, and I'm sure, Janine,
Oh my gosh.
it can be very
It is.
overload, like complete overload.
And
Today
how
was
about
my
the
first
star? How about
overload
the
day. I'm
star?
like, I can't make one
Oh,
more
please,
decision.
the first day in your mind. But yeah, and then there's the star. Then there's the star impact, because, I mean, let's face it, not everybody could afford that, and you don't have the Queen of England coming to your wedding. So if you've watched the royal wedding and you want to duplicate that wedding, it's like, think reality. Do you have kings and queens and princesses and all coming to
Yes,
your
I
wedding?
do.
So it's like, well, I know you have
My
the queen
friends
mother over here, but in the
And
same
my
token-
family are kings and queens and princesses.
I
And then
know.
we have little Rosie, the rosebud.
Oh God,
She's coming.
the little dog is going to be the little flower girl.
Do we have flowers for her?
I don't know. We gotta look.
Well, how about that? You forgot about poor little Rosie.
Poor Rosie, the neglected
Aw.
dog.
Yeah, exactly.
We
She's
could do a
neglected.
little wrist corsage, or like a little corsage for her collar.
See, you got
Nice.
it. Pay attention to
So
details.
don't forget that if you have your pets in the wedding, you can accommodate them as well.
Absolutely.
And then at the church, of course, you have decorations for church or whatever venue they have. So like, all of that has to be addressed, and not every bride remembers that. So that's where they always depend on you, because they're sitting here going over this checklist with us. And
How do you do
about
that?
this? How about that?
Do you have to go to the venues? Like, how does that work? If someone says, I'm getting married in a barn, like, do you have to physically go to the venue to see?
Sometimes we will.
Okay.
Or
And a lot of
pictures.
the places that are around here, we've,
know, you're
we've
familiar,
already,
yeah.
we've already done the weddings at. So, and a lot of times we reach out to the coordinator that is at the venue.
I got it.
Right, and there's always FaceTime, so you could go there, do a little video, send it, whatever. I mean, through all of the conveniences we have these days, you know. But,
Absolutely.
yeah, but the venues also to decorate those, and you go to the venue the day of the wedding and do that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So there's all other things there. And then if the bride has other special requests, I'm sure that, you know, there are things too.
They are queen for the day.
The chairs and whatever else that needs to be done. So there are so many questions that the brides have, and the whole wedding party, I think, needs to be accommodated. When we come back, we're going to get some more tips from Jen Barnasevitch. We're here at Smith Floral in West Hazelton, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Janine Lassant Show. She's getting married, in case you didn't know.
Here comes the bride.
We are here.
Here comes the bride.
Listen,
all
Jen.
dressed in white.
Jen, I told Jeff, once we hand her over, we don't want her back.
They're gonna push me to the back.
Yeah, it's like, here you go.
That's not very nice, is it, folks?
Well, they should
Look
sit
how
here.
pretty.
Yes, it is
So talk
beautiful.
about this bouquet.
So we're here at Smith Floral. We're with Jen Barnasevitch. We're talking about flowers for weddings and
look how-
all
this
occasions,
is
not
pretty.
just weddings.
Simple.
And she made this beautiful little hand, you call this a hand?
Hand tied, yes.
Hand tied.
That is a bouquet someone would carry,
Okay.
or that's about the size that we've done for proms or bridesmaids.
It's very pretty, and it's not very heavy.
And we mentioned before about how you pick your style as well. If your dress is very ornate, which a lot of them are, they're absolutely stunning. I don't know myself personally if I'd want to carry something that is going to block out all of that beautiful dress walking down the aisle. I mean, you may not be carrying your flowers all day long, granted, but I think the beauty of everything should be in proportion.
Again, and it comes with your, like we said, what is your theme? Some people have a funky theme and they want like wild, funky flowers, and so that's cool. Just for me, I just.
So is that your bouquet?
I guess it is.
Oh, very pretty.
Don't tell anybody. Shh.
Yeah, well, nobody's going to know till the week before when they see the show, I guess.
That's true.
Jen, for people who are not really talented to make flowers, if they just wanted to, they have a beautiful garden and they want to gather flowers and make a centerpiece, or maybe they want to do something that's
Something
permanent
fun with
for
their
their
friends.
home. I understand you have classes for that as well, right?
So yes, we do offer design it yourself classes, and they can be fresh cut flowers or they can be plants. We've done succulent gardens. We were recently just at a retirement facility that we did little succulent gardens that everyone could take home. So and we've gone. We can either do it right here at the shop, or we can go like on location. We've gone to businesses or to private residences as well.
Well, that's cool. And do you bring everything along with you?
Yes.
And all we do is provide the people and the refreshments.
Right.
It's all about the refreshments.
Right. I was going to say you bring the wine and.
You bring the chair.
And,
Right.
Yeah, and I imagine that the creations are really something after the wine, right?
They always come out really good.
Yeah.
They really do, and it's really fun to share
Yeah.
our love of flowers.
And art, to be creative. That's the fun part. Yeah, like what kind of themes have you worked on? I mean, I know you get the beach theme, you get the barn theme, you get the conservative theme, you get the party theme. Like, are there, I don't know.
Well,
They're fun.
I will say last year we did a wedding and everything was all herbs.
Oh, like
Like
basil and oregano.
Basil, oregano, mint, the centerpieces,
That's cool.
the flowers that they carried it was very minimal, like maybe just a little bit of the small spray roses, but everything else was all herbs.
That's a nice,
And I thought
did you ever
that
do
was very
favors?
different.
Do you do favors? Like little, I never thought of that, but that's kind of a cool
Like a
thing,
cluster
too.
of herbs attached to something. Hello.
Hello.
And anyhow, the light bulb just went off. Yeah, the herbs are beautiful. I guess the aroma from all of that was great, and it's not offensive because when you're eating, you have herbs.
Right. It was just, and it was an outdoor.
Yeah.
It was an outdoor.
See, I got your wheels turning
Right.
now.
I know. But yes.
I also like the tie-dyed roses. I don't know if anyone's ever done that for the
Do
wedding.
they
but-
come like that, or do you make tie-dye roses?
Yeah.
Like, how
No,
do-
they come that way. They're
how do they-
they're
how do they do
made at the farm,
Okay.
which would probably most likely be in South America, is where most of our roses come from, and they're dipped. So they cut the bottoms of the stems, and then each part of that stem they put in a different color dye, and then the dye goes up the rose and colors each petal the different colors. So
See?
That takes some time.
yes, it does.
Yeah, they don't grow like that.
So that would be a special order.
Very much so, yes. Yes.
Very much so.
Too late for your wedding, especially with the girls.
Yeah, she's like, you're not. Forget it. You're not doing that.
No, mine's all planned out. I didn't change my mind.
No, you didn't on that, thank goodness. But you're allowed to. What do you do when the bride comes in and changes her mind at the last minute? Does that give you like a heart attack?
No, as long
Jen's
as we
so
have enough.
easygoing.
As long as we have
See?
enough time.
See?
Typically, I like to meet with our brides a month or two prior to the wedding to just kind of go over everything, and that's when, if there were any issues, that's where we would.
That brings us to the next point. When you get your invitations out and then you get your head count and you give it to your wedding coordinator or to your venue, then you must talk with your florist so that you know how many tables you need and that sort of thing. So everything kind of has an order, right? Because you think you're having X many and then you end up with a different number of people. So that plays a role, right? Because you have to worry about how many numbers of tables and how many people are going to be in your wedding. I know I forgot some things until we went over our stuff today, like your readers and your mom. No, I didn't forget mom. She was on there.
How could we?
Jen and I had already done the flowers. We were just like, you think you did them. But anyhow, so we're talking mostly about weddings, but you do this for banquets. And
Yes.
you're involved in a lot of fundraisers. You're very community-minded, and you do a lot of beautiful things in the community. I
thank
want to
you.
thank you for that, too. I know that I've already heard from people that were just walking down the street and said that someone handed them flowers.
Yes.
What was that day called?
So that is called Pedal It Forward. It is sponsored by the American Society of Florists, and it's a nationwide event. It's typically in October, and the whole point of it is that we just randomly walk up to people and give them 2 bouquets. One bouquet for them for themselves, so that you get the joy of receiving the flowers, and then a bouquet for you to give to someone else, so that you get the joy of giving flowers to someone else.
So how awesome is that? You get to give flowers to someone every day.
Right.
And you're I know when we get our flowers, it's like so exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Open the door and it's like, oh, let's see what creation Jen did today. And it's so nice. And even when you think of someone who's going through a rough time or a good time, you think of flowers.
Right.
You think of sending them some kind of flowers.
To brighten their day, really. It really always does. Just the thought of someone. And a lot of people don't think of sending flowers to men, but I do.
Yes, you
I
do.
have
Dad loves flowers.
always sent flowers to my husband from day one. And I had found out that an uncle of mine had a birthday, and I sent flowers to him. And he called me, he was in tears. He said, no one has ever sent me flowers, ever. He said, I said, why not? He goes, I guess because I'm a guy. He said, but I love flowers. So who doesn't love flowers? I mean,
Right.
you know, everyone. And I know that for their birthdays, I know we always send Sammy and Janine flowers at work and whatever. And
Tie-dye this
I know,
year.
it was, pardon me?
Tie-dyed ones this year,
Yeah,
please.
tie-dyes.
I'll put in the order
Yeah, their
early.
birthday's coming
August
in.
5th.
Oh, there you go. That's
Got a month.
right around the
Yeah, so we have the wedding, then we have the birthday.
Graduation party, and then we
Yeah,
have
graduation, and
got a big-
it's all happy, happy times.
which is wonderful.
When you do funerals, the flowers add so much there as well, and they
Yes.
are sent with other meanings, and they're still meant for, but beautiful, but I mean, we've had the occasion to use you for that as well. And the flowers, I must say, were absolutely gorgeous and
Yes,
very
always
well
are,
received.
and they always last
Yeah.
long. Mine do. Because I'm nice to them.
Well, we do
nice.
often say in our business that, I mean, we deal with every occasion throughout your life,
Yeah.
from the happiest moments to your saddest. You know,
The flowers are always there.
yes. So it really is. I'm very lucky to do what I do.
Call in, you could stop in because there are other items here to look at too that are pretty neat.
And you service the entire area. How far
Yep,
is
the
that?
greater Hazelton area. We do Mountaintop to the to Whitehaven.
Nice.
And can someone call here and order flowers to send to California or somewhere
Oh,
else out of
absolutely.
state?
Yep, we would send it to a teleflora participating florist in that area.
Well, I hope you had as much fun as we did, because we like to get
gotta
around
go.
and have a great time. And I know if you came to Smithboro, you'll have the same
Yes.
fun that we have with Jen. You're a great personality,
Thank you.
and it shows with all of your employees and everything. Everybody's so cheerful. So we'll see you next time on The Girls.